This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Thousands of General Motors workers across the country are off the job this morning. Developing now at 6 o'clock, the reason behind the strike and how many Hoosier workers are impacted.
Plus, the Northwest Side woman says last week's deadly hit and run could have been prevented. This morning, the action she's calling for to make her neighborhood streets safer.
And our Classroom to Career series continues this morning. Erin Lish is highlighting a program helping young students grow into future landscapers. It is 6 o'clock here on your Monday morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Meredith Barrett.
And I'm Lauren Casey. Todd Clausen is with us this morning to talk about our forecast as we head into a new work week, but kind of more of the same in terms of the temperature.
Yeah, you know, we're just rolling over the weather late last week into this week, and it's going to be with us throughout the entire week, as well as temperatures will continue to run well above normal. Now, this morning, one little minor hiccup we have in the forecast is a little bit of patchy fog that has settled here into some northern locations, but it does impact Interstate 65. So I want to point that out for you, especially as you work your way from Lafayette northward into northwest Indiana, and then visibility is reduced over towards Petersburg and Covington and Fowler as well. But that's really the only place as of right now that we are dealing with these visibility issues. So what do you need to grab before you go? Well, definitely have the sunglasses. You'll need those from start to finish. You don't need the jacket or any rain gear here throughout the day, even though we do have one little lone shower that is just now south of Columbus. These were a little more potent earlier this morning, but they continue to fade away as they drift off towards the southeast. So if you are in Bartholomew County there, just don't be shocked if you see a quick sprinkle this morning. But the big picture shows a very, very quiet weather pattern for us all across the area. So throughout the morning hours, we will warm very, very quickly from where we are right now, right around 70 degrees, all the way into the low 80s by the noon hour. And then we'll continue to see those temperatures warm heading into the afternoon. More on that forecast for you, Lauren, coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. We're keeping a close eye on traffic for your morning drive as you're heading out the door on a Monday. A heads up to this emergency closure we had on I-70 in the eastbound lanes. You can see here no traffic in the eastbound lanes right now, and that is due to this emergency closure. Let's take a look at our traffic now map, and I'm going to show you exactly where this is at. It's between Mount Comfort Road and State Road 109. Over the weekend, crews were working in one lane of the interstate. All the additional traffic on the other lane caused the shoulder to buckle, so they had to mill, raise, and repair that in order to make it safe for drivers to use. This is scheduled to reopen this morning. Originally slated to open at 6 a.m., but it's looking like at the last update, it's scheduled to open at 7 a.m. Take US 40 just to the south as your detour. Well, thousands of Hoosier workers are on strike this morning. It's part of a nationwide walkout on General Motors.
The strikes comes after union auto workers were unable to reach an agreement on the new labor contract with the company. Our Alyssa Donovan is live this morning. Alyssa, what does this mean for GM workers here in the Hoosier State?
So it means they're at the picket lines this morning instead of the assembly lines. And during this strike, workers only earn $250 a week. And along with that pay cut, they are also risking that this strike might not be successful. Now, what this strike is the reason for it is a nationwide walkout because the union was unable to reach a new labor contract agreement with the company. Of the 49,000 workers, about 7,000 employees are here in Indiana. Plants in Marion, Kokomo, Bedford, and Fort Wayne are expected to be at a standstill this morning. Union workers argue they want a bigger part of the company. They want their record profits in a higher wage, improved health insurance plans, and better pension plans. Now, this is the first nationwide strike since 2007 when workers walked out for 2 days. They are expected to continue bargaining agreements this morning at 10 a.m. Reporting live, Alyssa Donovan, RTV6.
Police are still searching for whoever is responsible for the hit and run killing a teenager on the Northwest Side. Family members built this memorial as a tribute to 14-year-old Louise Patino. Metro Police tell us Patino was riding a motorized scooter down Coyle Street when he was hit from behind and killed by a driver around 8 Wednesday evening. Police say the driver got out of the vehicle and ran away. Neighbors have told us it was still light out when the crash happened. We talked to a woman in the community who says she thinks this could all have been prevented if traffic calming measures had been put in place years ago.
If they implanted the speed bumps like I asked in the past, it would have been, this wouldn't have happened. I know it wouldn't have happened. This is terrible.
No arrests have been announced yet in this case. We reached out to IMPD to see if they had any updates, and they had none available.
At 6:04, working for you now, IPL says that repair work will start this week to bring back light to a North Side neighborhood. RTV6 first started asking questions about the streetlight situation along College Avenue between 38th Street and 42nd Street after neighbors told us that those lights had been out for months. We'll continue to check up with the utility company for updates on the progress.
New possible vaping regulations are taking center stage after President Trump said he's considering banning flavored e-cigarettes. Working for you, we're finding out how the ban could impact local businesses. William Tilbury runs 3 vape shops in Indianapolis. He's concerned about the future if the Food and Drug Administration bans all flavored products. Tilbury is aware of the recent outbreak of lung illnesses connected to vaping, but he doesn't think the products on his shelves are the cause.
With the black market, there's no records, there's no clean rooms, there's no facilities that's being made in, and you get people not knowing what they're doing, producing these products that are making people sick. That's what's happening right now.
According to the Centers for Disease Control, most patients suffering from illnesses related to vaping reported using products containing THC, but some didn't report only using vapes with nicotine.
At 6:05, talks surrounding a possible regional jail shared between 2 central Indiana counties have now ended. The Madison County Council voted to stop discussions with Henry County and recommended a feasibility study for a new jail in Anderson. Council members say the regional jail plan was not the right fit for Madison County. The regional jail would have housed 500 inmates. Sheriffs in both counties say they had questions about additional transportation costs.
A Minnesota woman is using her arrest in Indianapolis as a means to bring attention to a controversial issue involving the price of insulin and big pharmaceutical companies. Nicole Smith Holt attended the rally this Saturday outside of Eli Lilly headquarters. She was arrested and cited when she refused to follow police orders to move. Smith Holt's 26-year-old son, who had diabetes, died because he had to ration insulin. She says insulin is so expensive, diabetics take extreme measures to make their prescriptions last. Smith Holt says she was not fazed by her arrest and will continue putting her freedom on the line until drug prices are lowered.
No, was not surprised. I had every intention of putting myself into that position so that I could raise awareness. I would have been willing to sit in jail for a couple of days if I needed to.
T1 International organized the rally, calling for pharmaceutical companies to make life-sustaining drugs more affordable. In a recent Yale University study, 1 out of 4 people who have diabetes ration insulin because they cannot afford the cost.
At 6:07, mowing the lawn for some kids can be a chore, but for others, it's a business venture. Our own Aaron Lesh is live this morning from Central 9 Career Center. And Aaron, they have a program there that's getting students classroom to career ready. And in this case, it's all about a career in the great outdoors.
It can't get any better than that. We are out here for the landscape management program where students, they get the opportunity to work on projects at home, at businesses, and even here on campus to maintain this beautiful area here. So what they do is they learn how to use all that different equipment. It can be dangerous and it's expensive, so they learn how to use all those properly. They keep them working, and if they figure out any problems, they learn how to fix them. Students also use push and ride mowers, tractors, trimmers, leaf blowers, all to maintain this school. They also have a greenhouse where they grow plants. They even sell some of those poinsettias for the holidays, and they also focus on landscaping layouts, making sure that they'll be functional but also beautiful and be able to use all of their creativity. And for one student, he has his own lawn mowing business, and it's pretty impressive, about 50 lawns, and he hopes to learn more from this program so he can grow in this industry after graduation.
I'd like to expand that in the future. I'd like to have employees, and I wanted to learn more about running my business and learning more about the landscaping section of it. And so I'd like to get to learn a lot more about that and just how to run it.
So they study aquaponics as well, raising tilapia, and do some shrimp farming, which they'll take that fish to the culinary school here and see the process, getting it to the table so you can eat. And they also will get certifications and dual credits along with a membership with FFA in this program. So pretty impressive here. But is there a need for more people in this industry? I'll have that in the next half hour. But for now, back to you in the studio.
All right, thank you, Ernie. If you're going to be out doing some yard work today, you're going to be working up a sweat once again as temperatures will continue to run well above normal. As far as your morning commute getting going on this Monday, there's some patchy fog in far northern locations, so it really impacts the Lafayette area and points to the north of your travels up I-65 take you there. Otherwise, everybody else is going to be just fine. Heading home, look at that high temperature, 88 degrees with a mixture of sun and clouds. For some of you, there's been a few showers overnight. They rolled through the Bloomington area, through Nashville. Now one little lone shower that's crossed over I-65 just south of Columbus. They'll continue to move off towards the southeast and weaken as well. Otherwise, it is really, really quiet across much of the Midwest. So if you have to travel for work, you have no related issues here in the Midwest. Temperatures here in central Indiana today, well, they're going back into the upper 80s in southern locations, low to mid 80s to the north. You factor in a little bit of humidity, and you could probably tack on a couple more degrees to the temperatures that you see right here.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. The local tech sector struggles to find employees. Still ahead, how one female-led tech firm created a program to empower positive and diverse company culture to create the next generation of tech talent. At 6:10, we'll be right back. Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. It is 6:13 on your Monday, and our own Shay Goodpaster is in our live drive vehicle. This is a dash cam view of I-70 on the east side. He's traveling eastbound. Right now, he's near Post Road. We're going to continue to check in with Shay as he gets closer to that emergency closure they have near Mount Comfort Road that's scheduled to reopen this morning. So we're going to be keeping you updated on their progress. Well, Hiring Hoosiers is RTV6's initiative to connect you to the training necessary to land the right job. A female-led tech firm here in Indianapolis has created an intern program to empower a positive and diverse company culture.
Amanda Starantino introduces us to NetLogic's CEO, who is a pioneer in Indy's tech sector and has a mission to pay it forward through internships.
NetLogix is no stranger to the Circle City. The information technology and risk assessment consulting firm built their headquarters in Indianapolis in 1998. Originally from the UK, CEO Audrey Taylor chose to live and start her business here nearly 2 decades ago. It has grown from a local organization to a thriving nationwide business.
I think Indiana is a great place to live. We're seeing that with some of the big companies that come in here into town, and that's part of the reason we need to be strategic as a city to make sure that we've got a talent pipeline. We've got plenty of people. We just need to give them the skill sets they need to be able to move into the tech space.
Audrey takes pride in being a leader in the tech industry and pays it forward by building a pipeline of diverse talent.
I was given opportunities when I was first in my career, so I think it's important that we give other people opportunities.
To create a diverse and positive company culture, NetLogix started a program called Diverse by Design. She partners with the Indiana Latino Institute and Ivy Works to find interns in a non-traditional way.
We've hired interns. We've seen interns go on to be successful in other places. It's really about creating a tech community here in Indianapolis.
A mother of now 2 adults, Audrey wants to change the misconception that maintaining work-life balance is difficult in the tech field, especially for women.
Obviously, it starts with the fact that I'm a woman in the tech industry, so if I can do it, I would like to encourage other women to do it. I also think it's a good career for women. It does have flexibility. It supports having a career. It supports having children. It supports a balanced lifestyle because you can do tech from wherever you are. So I really like to encourage other women to pursue what I think is a great career.
NetLogic's internship program provides a mentor designed to help the intern succeed with a focus on real-world experience. The path Audrey has created has opened the door for IU senior Erin Moore, a NetLogix summer intern.
I personally didn't even think about the fact that there aren't that many females in the tech industry. For me, it's just something I'm interested in. It has, great opportunities for the future.
And although Erin is not set on what career path she will take, interning at NetLogix has helped steer her in a better direction.
The whole process here has really helped me kind of decipher what exactly I'm looking for in a future profession. NetLogix really has opened the door to so many connections for me.
Audrey is an advocate for all who are interested to consider a career in tech, regardless of your ethnicity and gender.
It's very definitely a profitable career, yeah. It's a well-paid field, and it truly, I'm the testimony to it. It's truly an international career. If you ever thought you wanted to travel, this is the career to travel in. There's no requalifications. It's the same language as the world over.
We have a digital extra for you to hear from Taylor and NetLogic's internship supervisor about their program. You can check it out at hiringhoosiers.com. At 6:16, let's send things over to Todd.
All right, he's walking out the door here this morning. One little minor concern for those of you traveling through Tippecanoe County or you live up in the Lafayette area is a little bit of patch dense fog has settled in. Notice the visibility is down below a half a mile here throughout a good chunk of Tippecanoe County, and it does impact Interstate 65. So be aware of that, and then a little bit of fog settling into the Logansport area as well. But that is it as far as any concerns for your morning commute weather-wise across the area. Now, this month has been extremely dry, at least in Indianapolis. I know locations to the north have gotten into a couple rounds of some showers and storms, but officially at the airport in Indianapolis, only 1/100th of an inch of rain, and that puts us 1.55 inches below normal. And honestly, there's not a lot of rain going forward in this forecast for us throughout the remainder of the week. 70 degrees. It's warm this morning. The dew points in the mid-60s. That's getting a little uncomfortable. It's not terrible, but I do think you will notice the difference, and the winds are out of the south-southwest right now at 5 miles per hour. So we're talking low to mid-60s temperature-wise to the north. Most locations to the south, a little bit warmer with just a little more in the way of cloud cover, and temperatures around 70 degrees. Now, we had that fog to the north. There's been a few spotty showers this morning here in southern locations that have rolled through the Bloomington area, and you know, it's just off the screen here in Columbus. That's where that light shower remains. That is continuing to fade away and weaken, and so going forward from this point throughout the remainder of the day, we are going to have skies that are going to be partly cloudy across the area. So here's how it breaks down for you hour by hour throughout the daytime hours today, already into the low 80s by the time we get to the noon hour. And keep in mind, our normal high is only 78, so we'll be above normal by the noon hour, and then on our way up to a high temperature this afternoon of 88 degrees with that mixture of sun and clouds. And as we work our way throughout the evening hours, if you have plans, mostly sunny skies, warm temperatures, and eventually once we get to the 8 o'clock hour, we're in the mid-70s, and then we'll continue to see our temperatures fall back down into the mid-60s for tomorrow morning. And then during the day tomorrow, well, we just do it all over again with mostly sunny skies. We'll see temperatures climb up into the mid-80s, and that is going to be the trend throughout the day. Here's your 7-day planning forecast. 86 degrees as we head into Tuesday, 85 on Wednesday, 87 for Thursday and Friday. Here's our best storm chances. They'll be on Saturday and Sunday, and even then, they are not great. So if you do have plans this weekend, do not alter them because of those storm chances. Most likely that'll change. It's just a front that's going through at some point over the weekend. We'll just have to pin down the timing as we get a little bit closer. Lauren?
All right, Todd, thanks so much. We're keeping a close eye on a traffic issue to our east. Our own Shay Goodpaster is driving here on I-70 approaching Mount Comfort Road. That's where we had to have an emergency closure over the weekend because the shoulder buckled, so they do some milling and repair work in that area. It is scheduled to reopen this morning, and it'll hopefully be reopening soon for your commute. Until then, you'll have to take US 40 as a detour just south of the interstate. Let's take a look right now at an area where it is still closed this morning. As you can see, no traffic on the right side of your screen. That's the eastbound lanes of I-70. But again, we'll continue to keep you updated throughout the morning on when this is all back open.
Breaking overnight, Purdue Pharma, the maker of OxyContin, has filed for bankruptcy. The bankruptcy is a method for settling litigation with numerous states and governments, alleging the company fueled the opioid crisis. The Sackler family, Purdue Pharma's owner, says they are working toward a global resolution for the matter. They've also offered nearly $5 billion and part of future revenue from its drug sales. At least 22 people were hurt in a multi-story balcony collapse at a home in Wildwood, New Jersey over the weekend. More than a dozen firefighters responded and surrounded the debris from the fallen decks. Fire officials say at least 6 people who were treated are family members of a local county fire department who were there vacationing. Officials say they were on a second-floor deck when the top deck collapsed. There's no word yet on what caused the collapse. And the Trending 6 is next, and we have a way for you to feel like a kid again. We'll show you where you and your family can take a bouncy break later this week.
Monthly income for life.
Welcome back. We do have breaking news to tell you about, and it is good news here. I-70 eastbound through Hancock County just reopened. You're getting a live look from our Shea Goodpaster driving that stretch of interstate that had to be closed for emergency repairs over the weekend. They have just reopened those lanes between Mount Comfort Road and State Road 109. Great news if you're heading out the door at this early hour.
Before you head out the door, it's time for the Trending 6.
These are some of the stories that everyone is sharing online today that you'll want to know about.
A rock and roll legend is gone. Rick Ocasek was found dead Sunday inside his Manhattan apartment. Ocasek was a founding member and the frontman of the groundbreaking group The Cars in 1976. They were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame just last year. He was 75 years old.
Bryan Adams among the many artists paying tribute to the late Eddie Money, who died on Friday of cancer. Touching tribute also from another music legend, Ronnie Spector. She duetted with Money on his biggest hit, Take Me Home Tonight. Spector saying, quote, I loved his voice and he loved mine.
If young people you know are scouring the web today, this might be why. The K-pop supergroup BTS is back. The Korean boy band announced last month it was going on an indefinite hiatus, and it disappointed millions around the world. But now the band is back at work. They are scheduled to resume a world tour next month. Phew.
Woo! Glad that they're back together. Well, the world's largest bounce house coming to Indianapolis this week. The Guinness Book of World Records says it's officially the world's largest bounce house at more than 10,000 feet. The castle includes a basketball court, a massive slide that ends in a huge ball pit. It's going to be in Indy this Friday through Sunday at Waterman's Family Farm on Raymond Street.
Just the thought of losing your engagement ring is something most women can't even stomach. But for one woman in San Diego, she did stomach it. Literally. Jenna Evans swallowed her ring in her sleep. She did so while having a dream about having to swallow the ring to keep it safe. Jenna had an emergency endoscopy, and after a few minutes, she was reunited with her engagement ring. That is pretty nutty.
It's a nightmare. All right, well, the Titans tried to bring the fire against the Colts, but instead the field at Nissan Stadium actually caught fire. Just before the game, the Titans' pyrotechnic equipment glitched, sparking that fire. Woo, you're looking at it there. Thankfully, we can tell you no one was hurt, but the fire did not inspire the Titans as they lost to the Colts 19-17.
A lot of good jokes about that on Twitter yesterday.
Yeah. Yikes. All right, we do want to talk to Todd right now. It's going to be a hot one outside today.
Yeah, you know, back into the mid to upper 80s. We've been dealing with this heat really for the past couple days. Saturday, we got a little bit of a break with the lower humidity and the cooler temperatures, but we were right back there yesterday afternoon once we got into the sunshine. And today, plenty of sunshine go throughout the morning hours here. 74 degrees at 8 a.m. up to 85 already by the noon hour. And then as we continue into your afternoon hours, we'll see our temperatures top off in the low to mid 80s in northern locations, mid to upper 80s as you work your way to the south. And I wouldn't be shocked if a few locations do climb into the low 90s here this afternoon. So it's going to be a warm one and a dry one. The skies will be mostly sunny throughout the entire day.
Do you know who this T-shirt belongs to? Ahead at 6:30, why Morgan County authorities say it could help them solve a recent homicide.
And we're keeping a close eye on your morning commute. Let's take a look over to the west. I-465 here in West 38th Street. Traffic's picking up both northbound and southbound. Still traveling up to speed. No issues to slow you down. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this break.
With more work to do. This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Now at 6:30, thousands of workers here in Indiana are off the job this morning as General Motors workers across the country went on strike at midnight. The reason they're striking for the first time in more than a decade.
And helping your kids find their future career paths. Just ahead in our Classroom to Career story, how you can get some hands-on experience in the landscaping industry.
And the Indianapolis Colts snagging their first victory of the season in thrilling fashion on Sunday. But despite the win, the kicking concerns the team still has this morning. Here at 6:30, thanks for joining us on Good Morning Indiana. I'm Lauren Casey.
And I'm Meredith Barrett. Meteorologist Todd Clausen here. And Todd, are you kind of bored over there this week?
You start to sound like a broken record after a while, and it's like, you don't want severe weather. Man, could I just get a storm to talk about here and there?
Little raindrop or two.
But yeah, it's a pretty quiet forecast here throughout the day today. Just some minor issues here this morning, the first of which is a little bit of patchy dense fog that has settled in to northern portions of our area. Monticello visibility down now to 0.4 miles, just over 2 miles in Flora, 2 miles in Lafayette. That's an improvement from where it was just a little while ago. So if your travels take you through this area or you live in this area, just know that there is a little bit of patchy fog. Our other minor issue is showers that continue just to fade away here in southern locations. One little quick downpour now just southeast of Columbus, and that continues to move off out of the area as well. Otherwise, skies are going to be mostly sunny here throughout the entire day today. And with that sunshine, our temperatures, they're going to warm really, really quickly once again. We'll be into the low 80s already by the noon hour, and then as we continue into the afternoon hours, we're going to see those high temperatures top off anywhere between about 85 and 90 degrees. Lauren?
All right, Todd, thanks so much. We do have good news for your commute. If you're traveling eastbound on I-70 between Mount Comfort Road and State Road 109, that area is back open. You're looking live from our dash cam on Live Drive this morning. That area had to shut down over the weekend for some emergency repair work, but crews just reopened it within the past 20 minutes or so. So that is great news. We'll continue to keep a close eye on traffic, though, this morning all around the metro area and keep you updated. Well, being outdoors and working with their hands, students are doing much more than just yard work at Central 9 Career Center.
Getting classroom to career ready, our Aaron Lish is live in Greenwood. And Aaron, these students are hoping to learn more about landscaping management.
Yes, so, cleaning up the yard and making things look nice, it isn't a chore for some students here at Central 9 Career Center, but instead it's cutting a pathway to a future in landscaping.
Austin, you guys get the other hose. You guys can be watering those ornamental grasses.
Working on their green thumbs, students at Central 9 Career Center are focusing on landscaping management for future careers.
I have companies reaching out to me, weekly, 2 and 3 companies a week trying to recruit our kids. So I think every one of my kids could walk out of here with a job.
Along with being taught how to run a greenhouse, students study aquaponics by raising tilapia and shrimp farming. And for landscaping, they learn to work multiple machines.
Just a lot of knowledge on how to run a lot of the equipment and work in the field.
They use high-powered lawn mowers and tools to maintain Central 9's campus.
The oil's a little dark, so we might need to change it.
Outside of school, Caleb Peters mows about 50 lawns and hopes to expand his business with the knowledge learned from this class.
I'd like to have employees, and I wanted to learn more about running my business and learning more about the landscaping section of it.
And as they make the Career Center in pristine condition, they feel ready for life after high school because of their hands-on experience in this program.
Having that and being taught versus just trying to figure it out all myself is was very helpful for me.
And I have to say, this campus looks absolutely amazing because of the work from these students. And as they study horticulture, they do get dual credits as well as certifications and an FFA membership. So they're all getting prepared for this future career in this industry. Back to you in the studio.
Aaron, thank you. If you're looking to learn more about these career programs or other job opportunities in Central Indiana, our Hiring Hoosiers Facebook page is a big help. That's where you can find posts from prospective companies looking for new employees and all of our other Hiring Hoosiers stories. It is all just a click away for you on the Hiring Hoosiers Facebook page. And our Hiring Hoosiers Classroom to Career initiative continues all week right here on Good Morning Indiana. Here's a preview of some of the stories and schools we'll be featuring this week. So be sure to join us all week right here on Good Morning Indiana from 4:30 to 7.
Time right now is 6:35 on your Monday. Instead of assembly lines, thousands of Hoosiers will head to the picket lines this morning. This after the union auto workers called for a nationwide strike against General Motors. Our Alyssa Donovan is joining us live this morning. And Alyssa, this impacts several communities right here in Indiana.
That's right. So there are 4 plants across the state of Indiana with a combined 7,000 workers. And during this strike, those Hoosiers will be taking a significant pay cut in the hopes that they will be able to come to an agreement with the company GM when it comes to their new labor contract. The strike was called after union auto worker leaders met in Detroit Sunday morning, saying they were unable to come up with a new agreement with GM. GM facilities in Marion, Kokomo, Bedford, and Fort Wayne expected to be quiet today as employees take to the picket lines. They join more than 40,000 GM workers across the country. The union is asking for a larger slice of the company's profits in the form of higher wages, better health insurance plans, and improved pension plans. Contract negotiations between union and GM leaders are expected to resume this morning at 10. Reporting live, Alyssa Donovan, RTV6.
Alyssa, thank you. We have new information this morning about a body found in Morgan County. Authorities now say the man found dead on the side of a rural road died from a gunshot wound. And now this case is being investigated as a homicide. A neighbor was walking her dog on Man Road Friday when she noticed the badly decomposed body. The coroner says he'd been there for about a week. We still don't know who the victim is, but an autopsy last night determined he is white, between 25 and 40 years old, with long dark hair and pierced ears. There is one piece of information, however, that might help you better identify him. The man wore a t-shirt very similar to this one you see on your screen. If you recognize that description and this shirt, please call Crime Stoppers right away at 317-262-TIPS.
This morning, we do have a silver alert to tell you about. Police in Grant County are asking you to come take a good look at your screen right now. They're looking for this man, 64-year-old Henry Hank Schneider. He was last seen around 10 o'clock Saturday morning wearing a black shirt, jeans, and white tennis shoes. Authorities say Schneider possibly has several medical conditions, so if you've seen this man on your screen, please call 911 right away.
Authorities are releasing new information today after 2,000 fetal remains were found on the property of an Indiana abortion doctor. They were found after Dr. Ulrich Klopfer passed away earlier this month. His family discovered the remains while sorting through his personal belongings at his home in Joliet, Illinois. Klopfer performed abortions in clinics in South Bend, Fort Wayne, and Gary. The Will County coroner took possession of the remains and is expected to comment on their findings on the case later today.
Public health officials say a rare mosquito-borne virus that has caused deaths in other states has now been detected in northern Indiana. The Indiana's Department of Health says that Eastern equine encephalitis has been found in 3 horses and a cluster of mosquitoes up in Elkhart County. No Indiana residents have been diagnosed with the virus so far. This can infect their brain. This year, several people have been sickened with the illness. The deaths have been reported in Michigan, Massachusetts, and Rhode Island.
An unusual battle may be brewing between Indianapolis and the company that powers it. The city plans to play a role in IPL's latest rate hike proposal that would increase cost over 7 years. On Friday, the city filed a petition to intervene with the Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission. An attorney will take a close look at the proposal. Mayor Joe Hogsett released a statement saying, in part, quote, "As a city, we also have an obligation to ensure that any required upgrades do not unfairly burden working families in Indianapolis."
This morning, the Indianapolis Colts are celebrating their first victory of the season. It was another thrilling game that left fans on the edges of their seats. It was back and forth game on Sunday between the Colts and the Tennessee Titans. Jacoby Brissett threw 3 touchdown passes, including the go-ahead pass to T.Y. Hilton late in the 4th quarter. The defense was then able to get a stop against the Titans on 4th down to secure that 19-17 victory. The win moves the Colts' records to 1-1 on the season. They now return to Indianapolis for their home opener this Sunday afternoon. That'll be against the Atlanta Falcons.
And the Colts may have won on Sunday, but the biggest question this morning surrounds 46-year-old kicker Adam Vinatieri. On Sunday, the future Hall of Famer missed 2 extra points. That's on top of missing an extra point and 2 field goals in the season opener against the Chargers. Now there is speculation the 24-year-old veteran is considering retirement. He told reporters that he would address the media today.
Well, meanwhile, the Indianapolis Colts are going to spend the day building a new school playground. More than 200 volunteers from the Colts organization are going to participate in this year's Colts Community Monday. Players and cheerleaders will build a new play area at Francis Parker Montessori School on Columbia Avenue. They're expected to complete the project within 7 hours. This is the 12th playground the Colts have built in Indianapolis since 2008. And they're going to want to wear the hat and the sunscreen as they're out there, Todd, and same with anybody walking their dogs today.
Yeah, you know, it's going to be a warm one no matter what you're doing outside. You'll be working up a sweat, and so make sure you drink plenty of water. Yeah, don't forget about that sunscreen. You can still get a sunburn this time of year, even though you don't really think of it as much in September. But I think Gracie has the feeling today. She's like, all right, is it really Monday here? She's under the covers.
That is
still.
A Monday mood if I've ever seen one.
She does not want to start her day whatsoever. And thanks to Emily for sending Gracie. And you can send your pictures to my Facebook page of your favorite four-legged friend, and we'll get them on. Todd Clausen, RTV6. Green Paws, though, from start to finish here throughout the day today. Notice the temperatures, though, starting in the 60s, warming into the mid-80s for your afternoon high. Going forward in this forecast, the one thing we actually do need is some rainfall across the area, but we are dry at least through the work week. Once we get to Saturday, about a 20% chance of maybe a few isolated storms, but 20% really not a great chance. We'll talk more about the temperatures here throughout the week coming up in Maine weather in just a few minutes.
Todd, thank you. The tensions in the Persian Gulf are escalating quickly this morning after an attack on an oil production facility. Who the United States is blaming for the destruction.
And get ready to add a little jazz into your life. Just after the break, we have your chance to win tickets to the Indy Jazz Fest block party. That's coming up. Stick around.
We are expecting to learn more today about a major attack on a massive oil facility in Saudi Arabia over the weekend. The tensions in the Persian Gulf are rising after the attack on the world's largest processing plant. Senior U.S. officials tell ABC News they believe Iran is responsible, claiming the country launched 20 drones and nearly a dozen cruise missiles in the attack. The president now saying the U.S. is waiting on word from Saudi Arabia for the next move, but retaliation could be imminent. Iranian officials have so far denied any involvement in the attack.
At 6:44 this morning, Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh back in the spotlight as a new book sheds light on the allegations against him. On Sunday, the New York Times published excerpts from the new book called The Education of Brett Kavanaugh, an Investigation. The book revisits an allegation involving a woman named Deborah Ramirez, who accused Kavanaugh of exposing himself to her at a party. He denied that ever happened, but in the book, a former classmate of Kavanaugh says that he told the FBI and senators about something he witnessed, but nothing was done about it.
This morning, the music world is mourning the death of the lead singer of the band, The Cars. Rick Ocasek helped guide the Cars to stardom in the 70s and 80s with hits like My Best Friend's Girl and Drive. The band was just inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame last year. Ocasek was found dead in his New York City home on Sunday. He was 75 years old.
At 6:45 this morning, the efforts by many to keep teens from vaping is growing. An Alabama school removed bathroom stall doors because a student was found passed out from vaping. One North Texas school district says it will send kids found using e-cigs to a special disciplinary school for a month. The superintendent tells Reuters that they are hoping that this is more of a deterrent. Schools are now investigating investing in vape detectors. A system called Halo can actually detect the chemicals associated with vaping. The company's president says there's a ton of demand right now. They've actually sold these to schools in more than 46 states.
One of the administrators from a school district in upstate New York reported that they have children as young as 4th grade vaping. So although they were installing this in the bathrooms of middle and high schools, now this is extended down to a level of elementary school. So it's very, very concerning.
Well, Halo could eventually be used to pick up sounds in an emergency like glass breaking or gunshots.
Tropical storm Umberto has now been upgraded to a Category 1 hurricane. According to the National Hurricane Center, the storm is heading away from the Bahamas and is east of Cape Canaveral, Florida. Residents in the Bahamas could see heavy rain and life-threatening rip currents along the shores. That country is still dealing with devastation after Hurricane Dorian 2 weeks ago.
And Todd is talking about the hurricane right now. This one's looking like it's not going to impact the U.S. mainland, right, Todd?
Yeah, you know, there's going to be some rough surf along the eastern seaboard once again, but you mentioned the direction that it's going. It's heading out to sea. So, yeah, still close to the Bahamas. The eye of the storm, though, is north of the Bahamas. That is the good news. That's where the strongest winds are. And here is the path. It's going to probably strengthen to a Category 2 storm, but it's going to be out over open water. It does get pretty close to Bermuda, so Bermuda will probably see some rough seas, some gusty gusty winds, but at this point, they are not going to get a direct hit from that hurricane, so that is good news for just about everybody here. Visibility, that is a bit of an issue for us here this morning up towards the Lafayette area where it's below 1 mile, and then we're down to 0.2 of a mile visibility right now in the Logansport area. So if your travels take you in this direction, just know that there is a little bit of patchy dense fog, but that's the only area where we have visibility issues here this morning. So as you look at your weather headlines, the heat is going to continue all week. There is no real sign of fall in this forecast, and that's probably going to extend through the weekend and into next week as well. So not only is it warm, it's going to be very, very dry. We really do need some rainfall. In fact, officially, only 1/100th of an inch of rain so far this month recorded at the airport in Indianapolis. I know some of you, especially to the north, have seen a little more in the way of rainfall. You got into some yesterday, and those showers fell apart right before they got to Indy. So some of you have seen rain, but overall it's pretty dry here so far this month. The view from downtown to the north, the sky's just now starting to brighten a little bit here across the area, and once that sun gets higher above the horizon, skies will be mostly sunny throughout the morning hours. Temperatures range from 60 in Kokomo, where it's a little bit cooler, and that's one of the reasons why we have a little bit of dense fog settling in compared to southern locations and in the metro area where temperatures are running right around 70 degrees. So the showers that were around earlier this morning continue to fade away. A little more in the way of cloud cover here south of Nashville, but the rain continues to drop down towards the Cincinnati area, and the big picture shows a very, very quiet weather pattern here all across the Midwest. So throughout the day today, our temperatures with the dry conditions warm very, very quickly. We're into the mid-80s in many locations here this afternoon with heat index values that'll be running a little bit warmer, and I wouldn't be surprised maybe if some locations here to the south, you could see your high temperatures get up to right around that 90-degree mark, and then this evening we'll fall back down into the 70s and eventually overnight into the 60s. Looking ahead, more of the same for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Lots of sunshine, temperatures that'll be in the mid-80s, and really overnight lows will be well above normal as well. Our average high is 78. Our average low at the bottom of your screen you see there is 56. So the next 7 days we will be above normal both at night and during the day. The next chance of rain, just some spotty storms in the forecast potentially, Lauren, heading into the weekend.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. We're keeping a close eye on your commute from our live drive vehicle. Our Shea Goodpaster is behind the wheel. This is a dash cam view right now with his commute on I-70 near the North Split. He says things are getting pretty heavy there this morning, but you can see everything is still moving along just fine. We'll continue to keep a close eye out for any major issues in your morning commute, and we'll keep you updated. Well, the personal data of more than 2.5 million natural disaster survivors has been breached after the Federal Emergency Management Agency overshared that information with a third party. FEMA sent out a notification saying the agency shared the data with a contractor that helps its transitional housing program. Anyone who applied for temporary housing assistance between 2008 and last year may have been impacted. In over half of the cases, banking information was shared. FEMA says it has removed all this data from its contractor's system, and there's no evidence that the information was hacked. The agency is providing 18 months, though, of free credit monitoring for anyone who's affected.
All right, music fans, now is the moment you have been waiting for. Right now is your chance to win 2 tickets to the Indy Jazz Fest block party. The tickets are for the big show at the Jazz Kitchen in Broad Ripple on Saturday, September 21st. All you need to do is be the 6th caller right now. You can call into 317-269-1459 for your chance to win. Good luck. We'll be right back.
And be sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram.
Well, get ready for Rhinestones, Judges, and Sweat. The coveted Mirror Ball is back on ABC, and that means that Dancing with the Stars returns to your TV tonight, right here on RTV6. For the first time ever, viewers like you will tune into the season premiere, and you'll see who's dancing with who the contestants will be paired with, including 2 new professional dancers. Well, we sat down with Kate Flannery, who you probably recognize as Meredith from the popular show The Office. Well, she's trading in her jokes and her singing career for some dance shoes. For Flannery, this competition show is best described using an analogy for a place that she knows pretty well, an office.
Well, it's kind of like the CEO of a company, like teaching somebody in the mailroom how to do their job. It's kind of nuts. You have this complete, amazing pro, somebody who's at the top of their game, dealing with somebody, you know, who kind of has no business doing this. But here I am. This is the concept of the show.
Well, you can catch Flannery and the season premiere of Dancing with the Stars tonight starting at 8 p.m. It's a 2-hour premiere, and you won't want to miss it.
There is just one IndyCar race left this season, and the season championship is up for grabs. As of this morning, Joseph Newgarden is the points leader as he looks to capture his second title in 3 years. Alexander Rossi sits 41 points behind him, and Simon Pagenaud is 42 points back. The Firestone Grand Prix of Monterey is set for next weekend, and it's worth double the points. The race will also have an extra wrinkle, as this is the first time IndyCar has raced at the historic Laguna Seca track since 2004. The IndyCar season finale is set for this Sunday, September 22nd.
It is 6:55, and this morning we want to introduce you to one very lucky dog.
She has a new lease on life thanks to the hard work of some very dedicated people. This is 11-year-old Ellie Mae, and she was found severely neglected and filthy.
Well, workers at the Nebraska Humane Society got to work right away trying to free Ellie from her matted up fur.
Really just getting through the matting. I thought the emotional part would be a challenge, which, I mean, the emotions kind of came afterwards. You kind of just shut those emotions off and you're just like, I need to help this dog. The three of us all just shaving her down and finally found a dog under there.
Workers were able to remove about 9 pounds of hair from Ellie Mae, and that looks like a tiny dog, probably only weighed 9 pounds total.
Oh my
and
goodness.
They cleaned her and nursed her back to health.
Well, after her extreme transformation, you can see she is now ready for the next chapter in her life.
Oh, what a little cutie.
Looking
I'm sure
so
she'll
cute
be
now.
adopted very quickly.
Yes. All right. Well, if you are taking the dog out, it's going to be a hot one. Again, today, Todd, it's still feeling like the middle of July here in Indiana.
Yeah, you know, and it's going to all week long, so get used to the heat. It's going to stick around at least for the next 7 days. Here's how your day breaks down hour by hour. By the noon hour already into the low 80s, mid to upper 80s. So with the ground really, really dry, we warm really, really quickly today. And then 83 degrees still for your 6 p.m. forecast. Here is your 7-day planning forecast, and it just features lots of sunshine. Temperatures in the mid 80s all the way through Friday. It's not until this weekend that we bring in the chance of just a few spotty storms in the forecast.
All right, Todd, thanks so much, and thank you for joining us. We're back right here in 25 minutes and throughout Good Morning America with local news, weather, and, of course, traffic updates.
And remember, all your news throughout the day can be found on the RTV6 app. Thanks for watching Good Morning Indiana. Have a great rest of your day.